What is up, everybody? It has been a minute, and I am back. What I want to talk about today is actually Strats. So I love the Strat that I have. I have a blast playing it, but I actually had to do a little bit of work to get it, to my liking, I guess. And what I ended up doing was I swapped the pickups with Gen 4 noiseless. So what I've noticed is, for me, I like these big, thick, darker tones usually, and that's kind of what you guys end up hearing. What I've found with Strats is that they achieve something sonically very different from everything else on the market. Same thing with like Les Pauls and Gibson, the way that they use their pickups and wind everything. And same thing with like Filtertrons on Gretsch. They achieve something very specific and different. So I just got back from Florida. I just played a show down there with Jimmy, and I was just messing around with the Strat beforehand and learning all these songs, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it a shot. It's not like a crazy important show. It was, it was just a college, and it was early in the day for some event that they were playing. So I knew that I could take some liberties, and if I didn't sound the greatest in the world, I could make adjustments and make it through easily. So what I did was I strapped down my Strat and I got to work in making these presets. They're all actually on the Dropbox file, by the way. What I realized is that there are a multitude of songs that we play on, the top 40s and even the originals that I simply just can't achieve with my Schecter or, my headless that I have right here. There's something specific that Strats do that these just cannot copy. And it's really odd that it's only the Strat that is this way. It's very weird. So if you get a coil splits on humbuckers, you can split to the single and somewhat mimic that single coiled. A lot of people call it jangle, and what you end up achieving is pretty close, but it's not the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. And I realized that after practicing and rehearsing and getting prepped for these shows. So we played a song called Thick and Thin by Laney. I had never heard of the band in the world. Might be one of my favorite songs I've ever heard now, and I love playing it. It's so good. It's actually this one right here. And you can tell in that recording, as you can see, I'm playing my red Strat there. And I rode on the first position, then the second position, which is out of phase between the bridge and the middle, and the neck literally all day. And dude, I gotta tell you, I have been playing the wrong guitar. I have been playing the wrong stuff. And the reason I say this is because the thing that I was fearing the most was when we played the drop tuning stuff. So songs like Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. We play Beer Never Broke My Heart by Luke Combs. Those are real beefy, meaty songs, and drop tuning. So we play in E flat, which means when we drop tune that top string is in C sharp, which is very low. And, I just assumed, and a lot of people I think would, that, that's just not the guitar for the job. It'll maybe limp along. It's just not there. And wrong. Very wrong. So what I found out, and I love about this, is that with a few movements and tweaks, good example on the headrush specifically, the S1 drive says, yeah, I understand you're playing a Strat, don't worry about it. And that's literally what I felt like all day. When I kicked on that S1 drive in this signal chain, this thing turned into a freaking monster. And as you can tell by the intro jam and the intro track, I've got everything sounding really thick. It still sounds like a Strat, which I can't get that sound with any other guitar, that specific one at least, but it's nice and meaty and beefy. And what I wanted to bring up today was how awesome Strats really are, in my opinion, now. And I've genuinely changed my mind about playing them out. Not that I didn't like them before. I was just more of a guy that I always thought that I would rather have too much than not enough. By the way, if you're wondering why I sound weird, I'm getting over a cold. We were all just sick, and we're just now getting over it. It's really cool, and I actually wanted to go through some examples of how crazy different this thing can sound right now, actually. All right, cool. So now I got it strapped on. So this is just the typical no effects. I wanted it to be dry and obvious so you could hear what was actually going on. This is that preset that I have up on Dropbox, which is the Marshall head and the IR that I use. Compressor, no drive, and this is like just the dry bridge pickup. Very Strat, very like plinky, very poppy. So, and now I understand why. Something interesting happens when you pop on a tube screamer, and this may be obvious. It wasn't obvious to me, but listen to the difference and how much more wide of a frequency this starts to cover. Okay, you see, so now it's starting to widen up a lot, and it sounds really good. It sounds awesome. It's like a nice, I've got it EQ'd to where it's, you know, it's a little more beefier than usual. That right there, that's what I'm looking for. It's got a growl to it, right? And that's awesome. That sounds so good and so amazing for what I'm looking for at shows. Another good example, if we want to go back to, you know, this would be in kind of the sound that I feel like a lot of people would know a Strat for. So on some chorus, I popped out of phase in that second position that I was talking about, that I was riding on a whole lot for that show. And now we get this like... just so pretty. There's this like, it's like a, I don't even know how to describe that sound that comes out of it, but that's a good example. You're not going to find another guitar that sounds like that. Not in as far as equipment goes, as far as specific guitar specifics. I'm never going to get that sound out of the Schecter, my Headless, my Dean, my Telly, nothing. Nothing is going to sound like that, which has got this just beautiful plink to it that you can't replicate. Something about that's so pretty. The neck. So again, the neck on Strats is very different from anything else on the market. It does something specific, and it does not sound like anything else that you can replicate. Again, you can get close with my Schecter. If I split the coil and pop to the neck, I can do it, but it's just not the same. It's not there, and I get this specific... Let's throw on the S1 drive, get rid of the chorus, and this sound right here... God, it's poppy, it's thick, and it's got this like hiss and bark to it. That's just, it's got this attitude about it. That's just... Oh man, there's something about it. It's just beautiful, and I love the way that sounds. And then if we want to get fun with it, you know, we got like the... man, this thing's so much fun to play. I'll be here for hours if I keep messing with it. But that's something that I just cannot replicate with any other guitars that I've had. And there's something about it, man. It's special. That's the word. I think that's the best for it. It's a special sound that does a special thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop down to D. So now that we're in D, I've got it on the solo boost, which is a lot more beef to it. Think songs like Beer Never Broke My Heart, where we play the... And that is what I'm talking about. I didn't think I would ever get that amount of beef and dirt and drive out of this thing. And I think this goes back to the beauty of having this head rush, man. It just does everything so well. And I love the way it sounds. I love what it does. I love how it does it. And it was honestly really easy to get this dirt out of it. I actually didn't even really have to mess with much at all on the head rush. It really kind of just... The settings that were already there, my own presets, carried me forward, and all I did was make a few adjustments to make sure that there wasn't anything weird with it. And it's awesome. It sounded amazing. And like, this is with the TS9. Man, this thing sounds so good. And that's just what I love about it, dude. It killed everything and more for the entirety of the show, and it sounded so good, and I was so impressed that I'm probably going to play this for a while, like for a good little while. Even though I love all of my other guitars for different reasons, this thing just makes me so happy in so many ways that I was just so blown away with, especially for the versatility of running with the wider range of songs that we're doing. Like a good example, I need to go from 1975-ish tones all the way on up and past doing Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy, which again is... And it eats everything for lunch. It sounds amazing. So my recommendation for anybody that's on the fence about messing with a Strat, and keep in mind, this isn't a masterclass monster Strat. This is actually, this pick guard is the same one that my dad used, and when he got it back in the 80s. This is the same one. It's broken right here. And for character, I left it because it's awesome. But all I did was get the Gen 4 noiseless pickups, nothing else. Put 10s on it. Did some adjustments with the direct unit that handles it perfectly fine and does it super well. And dude, this thing's a monster now, and it's not anything crazy. We're talking about a Japanese Strat. Then if you have a decent, rig where you have all these options to do, especially the head rush, I love it. Again, you get amazing tones and amazing things that you can use like this. I mean, it just, again, a Strat. Close your eyes, and it's one of those things, before you see it, it'd be hard. I have a hard time guessing that this was a Strat. This thing sounds so good. That's it, man. I love this thing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and sub, and let's get back to work. I'm officially back now. I'm going to be making a lot more videos, so you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.